Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're really zeroing in on Bangladesh, a fascinating place, right at the forefront of the global energy transition. Our mission, yours and ours, is to pull out the key insights from the sources you've given us. We want to understand how exactly this country is funding its really ambitious solar energy revolution. It's a compelling real-world case study, especially for anyone tracking energy investment and sustainable development. So let's set the scene a bit. Bangladesh is facing this huge surge in electricity demand, projected to hit 33 gigawatts by 2030, I think, and it's heavily reliant on fossil fuels right now. But the good news, the silver lining, is this significant solar resource, averaging about 3.89 kilowatt hours per kilowatt peak of GHI, which is basically a key measure of sunshine, right? It shows strong potential. So the big question is, how do you actually turn that sunlight into working sustainable power projects?
Well, yeah, looking at the broader energy landscape in Bangladesh, it's really compelling. I mean, achieving 100% electricity coverage, that's incredible. Amazing feat. But like you said, it's fueled mostly by natural gas, about 54.7%, and oil, another 21.7%. So solar isn't just an environmental nice to have. It's really a strategic imperative for their energy security. And their ambition is just enormous. We're talking 20% green power by 2030, 40% by 2040. But here's something that really jumps out. That goal of 3,000 megawatts of rooftop solar by December 2025.
Wow, 3,000. That seems huge.
It is, especially when you contrast it with the fact they'd only installed about 245 megawatts over the previous 17 years.
17 years, wow. So that raises a big question mark, doesn't it?
Exactly. It highlights not just the sheer ambition, but also the massive regulatory hurdles or maybe implementation challenges they need to overcome. It signals a huge shift needed in policy and public engagement. And something else that's clear, with the existing grid having some overcapacity issues, sponsors are increasingly looking at solar projects that offer more than just generation, like battery energy storage systems, BES.
Okay. So adding batteries.
Yeah. It's not just about adding power anymore. It's a strategic move to make solar a grid-stabilizing asset, turning a potential issue into, an opportunity for integrated energy solutions.
That's a fascinating point about BES and, the sheer scale of that rooftop goal. So while they're focused on these big targets, getting projects built isn't just policy, is it? What do the sources tell you about the practical side, the technology choices, the costs involved on the ground?
Right. Well, performance is key. You absolutely have to factor in system losses, and they can be substantial. We're talking maybe 10 to 30% lost from things like heat, shading, inverter efficiencies.
Like quite a bit, potentially.
Definitely. For panels, the trend is towards high-efficiency monocrystalline ones. You can get up to, 24.8% efficiency now?
Pretty good.
Yeah. And for off-grid systems, the battery choice is just critical. Lithium-ion, for instance. Higher upfront cost, sure, but you get 95% plus efficiency, and they last a long time, 10 to 15 years.
Aye.
So when you look at the net present cost, basically the total lifetime cost in today's money, it can actually be comparable, sometimes even better, than cheaper lead-acid batteries over, say, 5 years or more.
Right, the long-term view.
Exactly. And, an average home might need quite a few batteries for full off-grid living, maybe 8, 12, or even more. It just highlights the scale of storage needed.
Okay, so given those practical tech realities, let's circle back to the money.
Right.
With all these potential projects, what's really striking is just how diverse the funding options seem to be in Bangladesh.
Oh, absolutely. The government plays a huge role, naturally. Policies like the 10-year corporate tax break under the Renewable Energy Policy 2025, and the net metering guidelines are important too, letting people sell excess power back.
That makes sense.
Then you've got the big multilateral development banks, World Bank, ADB. They're putting in hundreds of millions, often focused on climate impacts, adaptation.
Right, the international players.
And local institutions, too, like IDCO. It's state-owned, and it's been vital, supported over 4 million solar home systems.
4 million, wow.
Yeah, electrifying something like 20 million people, huge impact. Commercial banks are also getting more involved in green finance now. Bangladesh Bank, the central bank, is pushing it with low-interest refinance schemes.
So incentives are helping there.
Definitely. And for the smaller sort of grassroots projects, you can't forget microfinance. Grameen Shakti is a big name. Plus, innovative peer-to-peer networks like SolShare. It lets households actually trade solar energy directly with each other. Really cool.
Peer-to-peer solar trading. Interesting.
Yeah, so Bangladesh is really orchestrating this whole mosaic of funding sources, adapting based on the project size, the social goals.
It sounds incredibly dynamic. So with all these different funders, all these options, What's the key? What becomes the most critical thing for actually putting together a proposal that works, that gets these projects funded?
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? How do you get these diverse sponsors on board? And it really it comes down to tailoring your proposal, seriously tailoring it. For instance, those multilateral development banks, they care deeply about measurable impact, environmental, social. You need to show them, for example, how a 100 megawatt solar project cuts CO2 by, say, roughly 68,200 tons a year. Quantifiable stuff.
Okay, hard numbers for MDBs.
Right. Commercial banks, on the other hand, they want robust financial projections, strong risk mitigation plans. They need to see the financial viability.
Makes sense. Different priorities.
Exactly. So the bottom line is demonstrating not just what you're building, but why it matters. And crucially, showing you've meticulously thought through every detail, from the tech choices to the financial models.
Bangladesh really does offer a compelling blueprint then, doesn't it, for energy transition? Full of opportunity, but it clearly requires a very savvy, multi-pronged strategy. As we wrap up this deep dive, what stands out most for you from all this? And maybe a final thought for you, the listener. Given this incredible variety of funding approaches we've discussed and the sheer urgency for clean energy globally, how might these diverse strategies in Bangladesh actually influence how other developing nations can maybe accelerate their own sustainable energy journeys?